Brad Davison is stepping in as the new assistant coach for Wisconsin at 26 years old. Very, very young to get an assistant coaching job at a high major program like Wisconsin. What are your initial thoughts about Brad Davison joining the coaching staff?
Well, I think Brad, he had such a great career at Wisconsin. I think he played the most games or second most games there.
Had to be the most.
Yeah, he's up there. They had the COVID year and all that weird stuff. So
yeah,
I don't think, like those getting extra years for COVID years. And I don't think some of those records will ever be broken. Is he the all-time leader in 3-point?
Yes, sir. Yeah.
Did he took out Ben Brust, right?
No. Bronson took Brust, and then Brad beat Bronson. And I will say, though, Brad did it in fewer games. It wasn't his extra year, but in fewer games, he beat Bronson's record.
Okay. So, he had a very illustrious career. I know he played in Spain, and I know he played in Lithuania. I don't know what his extent of his professional career is. So, in terms of signing Brad as an assistant coach, I think it'll bring some youthful energy to the program. I actually don't mind the move in terms of an optics move as well, especially to recruits. Guys who come there, and it's like, hey, if you stick with the program and you stay there, you might have an opportunity to come back here and coach if you're interested in that. I think Brad is a pretty special human in terms of that. I've only had a few interactions with him. But I do know he's an extremely positive guy. Everybody seemed to really enjoy being around him when he was on the team. Media guys, everybody said, he was a wonderful person around and on and off the floor. So in terms of the hire, I think energy-wise, I think optic-wise, I think it's going to be excellent. I think that'll be cool for kind of an infusion of youth. I know he'll be. I think I saw some stuff earlier today. He's running around. He's being more physical at practice because he's 26, so he can, still be in shape, and he can definitely help guys in terms of, being able to be more on the floor than other coaches would be, I would say, just because he's still in the age of, if he wanted to, he could probably still be playing professionally.
He was signed. He was signed to play pro this year.
He was. So and I'm sure he's still in shape to do that. So in terms of, having a coach that comes in and says, hey, you guys are pretty good, but I'm better than you. Because I'm assuming he's going to be better than most of those guys, just because he's older. So. Yeah, he's older. He had a great career. He was a great player. So him coming in and being like, hey, I can kind of bust your ass, can humble some guys pretty quickly. I'm curious how that can handle, and I think that will definitely bring some camaraderie to the team. And in terms of, a comparison, it's definitely a drop off in terms of in-game adjustments and some basketball wisdom overall. Brad has played professionally. He hasn't done it for over a decade, and he hasn't done it for over 15 years, which, Kirk Penney had done. He had done it. He had done it at all levels. He had been coached by some of the most high-level European coaches ever. So, he had some different experiences and some different understandings, whereas Brad is going to kind of just lean on that youthful exuberance, we'll say. And we'll see what his role is too. I think he's going to have a very different role than what Kirk had. Kirk kind of came in with a very specific and very specialized idea, and I think it's going to be a learning experience for him, and I think it's really cool for him. I'm really happy for him as a guy and as the opportunity. And I'm also happy for the program itself. It seems like they're kind of moving in the direction of like, hey, let's take care of our guys. And I think almost every assistant on the staff has played for UW.
Yeah, no, that is true. That is true. I believe so.
I think so.
Chambliss, and Brad.
And Brad and Joe. Is Joe Krabenhoff still there?
Krabenhoff, yeah.
So, I don't know if there's too many other staffs that are like that in the country. So it's interesting to see. I wish him the best of luck, and I'm curious what his role is, and I'm sure that'll be more and more defined because, it's also a little bit late in the season to be hiring an assistant coach. That is also why I think why they went and got him too he was available.
Yeah.
There's not a lot of, it seems like there's some high level assistants that aren't always going to be available, especially at this time. So be interesting to see what happens with them. And the other thing that's great is that Minnesota pipeline. There's a lot of talent that's coming out of Wisconsin. There's a lot of talent that comes out of Minnesota. And I think that's also a connection that, Coach Gard was one of the main guys to recruit Minnesota when I was in school, when I was in high school, and when I was in college too. He was the main Minnesota guy. So I think that also kind of brings a nice little, hey, I'm from Minnesota. I'm on the Wisconsin staff, and he's going to know areas. He's going to know coaches. He's going to know kids that go there. So I think that also brings an added benefit because there's tons of kids that come out of Minnesota every year. It's been a really good basketball state, as well as Wisconsin has over the last few years too. So
yeah, and I'll give my reaction. So Brad, 26 years old. Fun fact, Nick Boyd is exactly, or I think just less than 2 years younger than Brad. So Boyd's 24. I believe Boyd has an April 23rd birthday in 2001. Same exact birthday as John Tonje. And then I think Brad, I looked it up today, it was April 22nd of 99. So he's right, kind of, he's not that far removed from these kids. So the way I see it is he could be like a big brother to them. And he will probably big brother. I imagine Brad right now playing against like some of the freshmen in one-on-one drills or whatever would just be absolutely brutal. Because Brad was a grown man when he was 18, and now he's in his physical prime right now. He's going to be a problem in those practices, just his strength and physicality. But yeah, Brad and I are similar in age, and I've interacted with him briefly in person a few times, and I've known a lot of people, went to school with him, talked with him, and I also had him on the show twice. I can say, yeah, everybody says nothing but good things about Brad Davison. I would say he's very wise beyond his years. He's a very mature 26. He's already married, already has a kid. He was the leader of the team as a freshman at 18. So I have nothing but good things to say from my experiences, what I've heard from other people. He's very disciplined. He's very into his faith, and whether you're a faithful person or not, he lives by that. So he has values, and he's very strong to those values. So I think he'll be nothing but a positive figure for young 18 to, I should say 24-year-olds now in today's world of college basketball. But I think he could be a really positive influence on a bunch of kids, especially in this day and age of NIL and the transfer portal. As you said, they could probably use a little humbling. They could probably use a little bit of humbling. I think Brad can be useful in that department. But yeah, so that's my reaction. Any other thoughts?
I was playing under Coach Ryan, and he was 60 plus years old when I played for him. He knew a lot of basketball and everything, but and for me, I felt like he kept up with the times as well as he could, but he wasn't the same as a 26-year-old coach would be. Yeah. So I think we're getting visited by cats. I'm so sorry.
Oh, you do have cats. I thought it was just a dog.
No, there's just stray cats that show up at my house. Oh, okay. That's why you hear that.
Okay, good. My respect doesn't drop for you. But
okay. No. We got dogs, but we have stray cats that show up. It's super funny, and she just is all so sassy.
That's hilarious.
Okay, so we can go back. So the youthful movement, I think Brad will be able to, let those guys know how it was, how it can be, how it should be. He went to the school. He knows what the life is like there. He knows what to expect after big games, how to prepare for them, how to handle some of the media guys, so he has all those relationships. And like you said, a big brother to the program. It's definitely a great position for him. I didn't even really think about that. So for me, that definitely makes a ton of sense. And I think, he'll be very influential on those guys. And like I said, 100%. He'll have a different role than what Kirk had, but it should be fun for them.